Welcome to another episode of G Block's Go Deeper interview series. My name is Sheila. I am the G Block Community and Program Director. I am delighted to have a new guest with us today, a G Block member named Valeria Rodriguez Godina Felgueras. She is the European Growth and Engagement Manager at We Connect International, as well as the chapter chair at the Women's Presidents Organization in Spain. She is a passionate advocate for women's economic empowerment and has been recognized by the Women Economic Forum, Vital Voices Global Partnership, and the 10,000 Women Entrepreneurship Partnership by Thunderbird School of Global Management, Goldman Sachs, and the U.S. State Department. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I am delighted to be here with you today, Sheila. Thank you so much for invitation.
My pleasure. So let's dive in. So the first question we have for all our guests is to tell us your why. What do you consider to be your purpose or your mission in the world, and what experiences in your life shape that?
What a great question, first of all. And I would say that for me, it's crucial to identify my own purpose in life and also help people identify. I think that life is just too short and we really need to seize it and take advantage of the possibility of being here and making the most of it. So I think that's my two words would be inspiration and impact. So basically I get inspiration from the people around me, and also I try to inspire people around me and also help create an impact. It's impossible to go out of this world without getting or having an impact, right? So we have this responsibility as leaders to create something that is valuable for us and for the world.
Absolutely. And what is the one big idea you would like to bring forward in the world, and why? What do you hope will happen as a result?
I work in women empowerment, so I think that for me that is the key point, like to help women grow, especially their businesses, because if women grow their businesses, they can get, of course, a greater impact in their communities, in their families. So I think it's very, very important to have, as I was telling you before, have those moments of reflection and making questions as to where we are heading to, in terms of defining our own purposes and getting better results in terms of businesses, helping other people, women or men. But the idea is like to really do the work that we were meant to, right? So basically, I think it's very important to create that impact and not like live without that purpose.
Yes, absolutely. I think a life that's led with purpose has so much more meaning for us and also for those around us. So I'm absolutely with you on that. You're speaking my language. So what are the ways in which you cultivate meaningful connections? And what do you hope happens as a result of that?
I feel myself as a natural connector, and I love to connect people. And sometimes I don't know the result of that, but I know for sure that something great will happen. So basically, my work is to connect people, to help them do business better and with a higher purpose. And my objective is, although maybe I don't get that information, but to put that seed in the world and create those connections that can transform lives, especially for women. But I think it's very important to be there, very generously open to making those connections without waiting for anything to happen, but creating those connections.
Yeah. So it's a practice of non-attachment.
Absolutely.
And just following that inspiration or that insight or that intuition. Amazing things can happen when you do that.
And you said something very important, intuition. Sometimes we don't hear to ourselves, but I think intuition, we need to pay more attention to that and to be there, like very, very intentional, creating bonds, creating community. My work is to create community and to help people grow. So basically, they are very intentional, but following our intuition as well.
Absolutely. So, what are some of the contributions you make in the world, and how does your big idea play into that? So, you spoke about, women's entrepreneurship. Are there particular types of entrepreneurs you like to help? Yeah, if you could share more about that, we'd love to hear it.
I'm so passionate about entrepreneurship. I am myself a business leader. Having all my life an entrepreneur. I really believe in the power of entrepreneurship. I work for these two nonprofits organizations that give me the possibility of helping women entrepreneurs in different ways. Women Presidents Organization helped me create these peer-to-peer groups, very small groups where they can learn from each other. And I am there facilitating those learnings every month. And then we connect. It's different. We connect women-owned leaders with corporates that want to buy products or services from women. So it's directly related to the growth of their businesses through the power of the purchase, right? Through incorporating supply chain in these big corporations. So I help in these two ways: educational from the Women Presidents Organization perspective, and then from we connect more on the growth of their revenues through the purchase of their products and services. And now with El Encuentro, which is the new project that I'm developing, is a transformative journey where we aim at helping them grow in a different way, like a retreat from their daily work to think about their leadership. And it's not exclusive for women; it's both for men too, because I really believe in diversity and inclusion. So everything connects, because I think it's so important, as I told you before, to stop, to really think and rethink where we are heading to. And this El Encuentro offers that possibility as well.
I think that's so beautiful. I think often we can get so lost in just, getting through our tasks and our to-do lists and trying to keep up with everything we have to do, that we sometimes can forget how important it is to take a step back and really examine ourselves. So I love that you're creating this space, because from pausing and from stillness, so much wisdom can emerge, and it can actually help us bring more sanity into our work. So I think a retreat like this is so meaningful. So another question I have is, what communities are you a part of and why? How do they add value to your life?
Oh, I have grown so much from different communities. You mentioned that I was part of the 10,000 Women partnership with Thunderbird and Goldman Sachs and the US State Department. That was my first initial contact with these communities of women. And it was so important for me. I think that was the kickoff or something that awakened my destination or my interest in helping women. I think that becoming part of a community is crucial, not to feel alone. Sometimes leaders, we do feel lonely in our work, in our way to grow. So 10,000 Women was a great experience for me. I was very young. I really was very young, and I was a business owner at that time without many training, right? Like I didn't have many formal training. And then I also took part of another program who was crucial to me, Vital Voices Leadership Program. That was another one. Then the Sherry Blair Foundation for Women in the UK. And of course, We Connect International. My business was a certified business in We Connect, but back in Latin America. I'm a multicultural person too. I am back from Argentina. I lived in Mexico 7 years, and now I live in Europe, in Spain. So I think I had to reinvent myself every time I moved from one country to the other. And I think that added to me a lot of value, very broad perspective, and the objective of the change, the meaning of change and adaptation. I think that was also very important. To start anew, I think that gives a lot of energy to me, and like to these possibilities, endless possibilities of looking for who you want to become, independently of where you are.
Yeah. So it sounds like, you've developed a lot of international community. So like a lot of women from different parts of the world, and also through your own journey of having to move to different places, you know, your own growth through that, your own adaptation, you know, probably added to your leadership and your capacity to lead, and developing different skill sets as well. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
So right now, what types of contacts or connections are you looking for now, if any?
I'm always open to connections.
Okay.
I learn a lot from people. I 100% think that we learned a lot from our peers. So I'm very open to connect it with anybody who would like to learn from me, and I would like to learn from them. I'm very excited about the Camino de Santiago we are putting together with Maite, my partner, because the objective is exactly that, to walk 7 days. With that purpose, we have IE Business School, like giving out all the educational context. But the most important thing is building those connections with the people and seeing how much we can learn from one another. Each of us have our own backgrounds. I told you I'm a multicultural person, but you have also all your expertise, for example, and I would really like to know more about you, how much I can learn from you. So the objective is I'm open to anybody who'd like to reach out to me and teach me lots of things, because we need to grow and to keep on learning. It's like we never end learning, right? And we learn from
Yeah.
each other. Problem with building community is that we have so many people. Sometimes it's like
How to keep up.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something difficult to keep up that the expectations of people in terms of time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I love to learn and meet new people every time.
That's beautiful. So what qualities and values do you look for in new connections? So when you're meeting people, what do you look for?
I always look for this, for openness, for people who are really wanting to grow, like humble, if you want, humble people who know that they have achieved certain level of success, but you're never there, right? You are
Yeah.
always in the look for growth. And I think those people are the ones who take advantage of these experiences and these connections. Because if you think that you have grown or you know everything, it's like difficult to keep on that spirit. But I always love to meet people who are there to grow, to learn, to connect, to contribute, right? Very generously to other people.
I love that. So a fun question. If you were running G Block for a day, what would you do with the community and why?
That's an amazing question. That's a great question. Create those spaces, especially in terms of interest, like group people according to their interests, so they can really, again, learn from themselves and create those spaces where they can openly speak of their challenges, because we sometimes, and with these social networks things, where we think or show ourselves as our successes, but where I think that where we grow is when we show really our vulnerability, our challenges, and if you put people in that space, like where what their challenges are, grouping them in terms of their interests, I think that's a lot to grow there.
Yeah. And that's perfect, because that's something I'm working on right now. So
I'm happy.
Yeah. So before we close, is there anything else you'd like to share with the community?
I would love to invite your community to our Camino, which is in October. So I will be sending you some information. It's only for 20 people. It's a very small group this year, but we are really excited to share this with you and your members, in case there's somebody who is ready to join us, men or women. We are closing very soon the registration. So really very excited to invite you and your members to join us.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time. And we're so glad to have you part of G Block. And and for those of you who are watching, I'd encourage you to check out this Camino experience. I feel like it's going to be absolutely wonderful. We will be sending more details both in the group as well as through our mailing list. So thank you again so much for your time, Valeria. It was really nice speaking to you.
Great speaking with you, Sheila. See you soon.